up, get up, get up, get up, get up, and get down, get down. Hurry, 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 slow down.
And welcome back to the Wicked Good Golf Show. I'm Steve Scott along with Jimmy Bombard and head golf pro up at Green Hill Golf Course, Matt Moison. Matt, you guys are going to talk to us about a golf tip that everybody, I think, has been told one thing, and you guys are going to break the myth, break the mold here, right?
We're going to break the myth. Whether we break the habit, I don't know.
It's a different story, yeah.
Head up or head down when you swing a golf club, and head up or head down?
That's the question. The question is, do you keep your head down or you let your head, not really lift your head up, but there's a process. I think if you just watch the ball, your head will do the natural thing. The best story I got is East Coast. These three guys in their mid-70s come in, and they were there all winter and they wanted some balls, and they said, "You got any free tips?" I said, "Yeah, don't keep your head down." And they all looked at me, laughed, and they were all giggling, and they're like, "What is this guy talking about?" They went downstairs, they came up, they hit their balls, they said, "You're right," they said, "You're right, you're right." And it finally dawned on them that, yeah, you do not want to keep your head down when you make a golf swing.
No, you need some room to move.
You need some room to move. Now, Maddie can do a little practice swing here, and you'll see. The first one will be with the head down.
Is this with the head down?
Head down. This is what is. Just watch his body motion. Maddie's pretty good, so he'll make the club go pretty decent. And you can see his body just gets stuck, and usually you see the flipping of the hands, right? Because they get stuck and the hands flip on through. And what I try to teach students to do is not really, you're not picking your head up. The opposite of keeping your head down is picking it up. You just simply want to watch the ball.
Right.
So that means when you're making your swing, you're hitting the ball, and then if you just let your eyes and your head go and watch the ball, your body will respond in a better way.
Everything clears right out. And for me also, I think when you get your head down, you just get too much arching. You really don't have...
This is the curvature of the back.
You curve your body, and you don't have too much room, but you get that nice chin out of the way. It really gives you the room to just kind of let things kind of clear as you go through.
His body comes up and responds to a natural athletic move, actually.
And it's about the rotation as well, too, right?
Yeah, and Jim's right. As you hit the ball and your body comes through, you just get so much more power and distance and accuracy. And if you're stuck, your arms are swatting at the ball and nothing's moving.
It's like taking a spring and coiling it up, and if you let go, it's going to spring back. When you get that there, you need something to release it. If you keep your head stuck, that gets stuck behind it, and you can't wind up getting any more power going forward.
Yeah. So this tip is related to last week's with the angles and all of that.
That was last 2 weeks because
2 weeks ago. I'm sorry, I was sick. Yeah. But what you see everybody does is they flip their hands on through this way, and if you keep your head down, usually I see that worse because they're stuck here, and their hands got nowhere else to go but to flip through.
Right.
And what we want is the angles created, the head moving along with more of a that goes on through the ball.
With what you were talking about in terms of here, keeping that angle there and not allowing it to scoop or get any type of flipping action with that, but you've got to keep your body going forward.
So if anyone out there was playing with what I did from the first week,
I did.
It's not working, make sure you're not keeping your head down. Got it?
Best advice you're going to get.
Yeah. Make sure you're not keeping your head down.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I always ask my students, because I watch them, and I said,
right.
So you believe you need to keep your head down?
Right.
Of course I don't. Yeah. All right.
Well, that's a great tip from Bomber and Matt there about not keeping your head down. Keep your head up. It doesn't mean look way up it, but it means let the swing, bring your head up naturally to follow the flight of the ball.
Yep. Yeah. Usually I tell them this too also is that before when they hit the rotten shots, I could see where they didn't want to watch them. But when you start hitting them good with the right angles,
you're going to want to watch
it. You're going to want to watch the ball go.
Exactly. Thinking about watching it go. You got a lot of young kids who might be participating in the 2004 Drive, Chip, and Putt Championship. It's going to be held, the local qualifier is going to be held at Cyprian Keys in Boylston and at in Uxbridge at the Blissful Meadows, correct. So those two dates are for Blissful Meadows. We have that information on Blissful Meadows is July 1st, and Cyprian Keys is June 23rd. Go to www.drivechipandputt.com to register. The entry date ends this month, April 30th. So If you're a child ages 7 to 15, you're a parent of a child ages 7 to 15,
Get them ready.
get them in, get them registered. You can only register once. It's free registration, but hey, if you win, you get to go to Augusta.
You're going to Augusta, yeah.
Come on, what's better than that? Thinking about Augusta, guys, let's get back to the controversy, Tiger Woods controversy, and that's our rule of the game for this week, and that's Rule 26, which is a relief for ball and water hazard. How do you do that? And if you looked at Tiger Woods' shot, great shot. I think he'd take that 9 times out of 10, except it hits the flag on 15, his approach shot, and then bounces sideways, and then goes back into water hazard. Matt, how do you then deal with that if you're a player with those three ideas?
There's two types of water hazards. You know, there's lateral water hazards, which are red stakes. The one in question at the Masters is this traditional water hazard, yellow stakes. You have basically 3 main options. You can hit it where you last hit it from. You can always go back and hit it where you last hit it from. You can get 2 club lengths relief from where it crossed into the hazard, but you can't go closer to the hole, and that was the rub with Tiger. There was really no place to do that. Or you can take the point where it crossed over the hazard, keep the flagstick in that point in a straight line and go back as far as you would like.
That put him into the
with Tiger,
bleachers,
he would have had really good
bleachers or back into the woods.
Yeah, he would have had some good seats for the event, which he probably should have had for Sunday anyway. But
we'll get to that point in a little bit, because that whole thing is something that you guys might disagree on. But he chose to go and play it back from the spot that he originally had hit that.
Right.
What was wrong with that ruling, Bomber, that said he could not do what he did, which was go back any further?
Well, I think that what's in question is how far away from that spot he dropped the ball. That's what's in question.
Right, and in 26A, and I'll read that, by playing a ball as nearly as possible at the spot from which the original ball was last played, is the option that he took. But I think, was he interpreting a red stake where you could go back?
Yeah, that's my opinion. In his subsequent interview at the end of the event, he said, I dropped it a couple yards behind.
He didn't want to hit the pin again.
He didn't want to hit the, he's so dialed in, I didn't want to hit the pin again. I have that same problem. But he said, I dropped it a couple yards behind. And for me, that meant that he misinterpreted the rule. For me, the straight line piece is what he was trying to do, which would have put him in the grandstands, which is one of the 3 options, but it didn't apply in that direction.
Right.
So in dropping it near as possible, I think he misinterpreted.
Is it misinterpreted or improper procedure? Is there a difference between those two in that?
Geez, I don't know if you could define those differently in this particular situation.
That's the thing.
And that's what will be what we discuss, when we come back at the end of the show, will be, whether or not you think he should have been disqualified from the Masters and not allowed to play on the weekend. We will talk, don't speak about that right now, because I think that's important. But, how do you then deal with it as a player in this last minute before we end the segment? How do you deal with this when you go out and you play? Because you're supposed to play by that rule. Do you call it on somebody if they don't do that when you're playing in your local?
Yeah, that's hard. We run into that with our club championships, and I tell everybody in the field. Everybody gets a rule sheet, and I tell everybody before they tee off. If you see an infraction, you're not being mean. You're protecting everybody else in the field.
You need to do it.
And you need to do it.
You need to do it.
Yeah.
As uncomfortable as it is, and that's what people get. It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To call somebody on a rule or whatever. And in
Friend of
any
theirs,
question,
it could be a bunch of
now,
reasons.
say I have that question and I'm playing in that, and I don't know the rule, and I go and ask you for that ruling as my playing partner, and you give me a rule. Does that absolve me from not knowing it?
No, not at all. No. I mean, your playing partner's not the rules official.
Right.
You certainly render an opinion, but they're not the rules official.
All right. So when you go out and play the rules of the game of golf, make sure you know those rules and just have fun and enjoy the game. When we come back, we're going to talk with Matt Moison about Green Hill and everything that's going on up there, and we're going to find out the answer to the question: does Matt think he should be disqualified? Does Jimmy think Tiger should be disqualified? We'll have that and a lot more on the Wicked Good Golf Show right after this.